Hello and welcome to Designer Discussions with Miriam, Maria, and Jason. Today we're going to talk about help a reporter out and the state of their business. Welcome to the Designer Discussions podcast with
Jason,
Miriam,
and Maria, where we talk about marketing, PR, and business advice for design professionals. Today, we're going to be talking about what is going on with HARO. Miriam is going to help us out. So I'm here with you. Let's learn everything that's going on right now.
Okay, so I'd say let's start at the beginning. For those of you who don't know what HARO is and why you actually it doesn't exist anymore. So, but we'll get into that. But HARO was a service that connected reporters with sources. And the reason why this is important, it's actually when I teach people how to get PR for their businesses, is the first strategy that I teach them. And we have a number of podcast episodes that talk about how to get quick press, right? And it's what the strategy is what I call reactive pitching. So that means the opportunity comes to you and you just submit your input for the pitch, and hopefully you can generate some quick and easy coverage. We can reference those episodes in the notes as well. But so it's been really kind of crazy what's been happening with HARO. And HARO stands for Help a Reporter Out. It's a service that was founded in 2008 by a guy called Peter Shankman. And he's like iconic in the PR industry. He's like a crazy entrepreneur, he's written a bunch of books, but his biggest claim to fame really is that he founded HARO. And he did it because he was a PR person, and he found that there's really no platform that efficiently connects reporters who are working on a story with sources that can provide expert commentary for the sources. So he started, he was connected with a lot of journalists, and he said, just send me all your queries and I'll share them with my PR friends. And then they can send you their input. And it was a huge success, and it grew very, very quickly. And the format that it grew into was that every day you would receive 3 emails with what he calls queries, which were basically just requests for information from different journalists. And it was grouped in different topics, in lifestyle, business, tech, travel, whatever. And it was always free. So Peter Shankman's philosophy was that this should be a free service. And how he finances is like at the beginning of every email, there was just a little tiny sort of sponsored blurb, and he's a funny guy. So he would make it really personal and speak to it from his own experience. And I don't know if he ever really made any money with it, but it was kind of his passion project, right? So then a few years ago, he sold HARO to Cision, and Cision is like a mammoth in the PR industry. They used to pretty much have a monopoly on PR software that provides media lists as well as monitoring services. And I am not entirely sure what the deal was that they made, but I know that Peter Shankman now is extremely unhappy with what Cision has done with HARO, because what they did over the years, and it actually just was finally fully executed, is so HARO went away. Help a Reporter Out completely went away. They killed the brand. And they turned it into a platform that they call Connectively. And they got rid of the emails, right? And they put it into a like a web platform. And now it offers different levels of service. There's some that you can access for free. If you pay a certain amount, then you get more perks, like you can search for things, or they will send you emails with queries that are just for you. But it gets very pricey very quickly. And Peter Shankman, he was so unhappy about that. And we can talk a little bit more about Connectively after. But just last week, he launched a new service and he calls it Help Every Reporter Out, HARO, which is kind of genius. The acronym is just genius. So the website is helpeveryreporter.com. And he did it because a lot of people asked for it, because everybody was so upset about HARO going away and Cision killing this great idea that HARO was just because they want to make a buck. Basically, that's how people see it. So Shankman went ahead and he's recreating HARO, which is now called HARO. And today was maybe the third or fourth day that the email has gone out, and it's not quite as well structured yet as it used to be, but I'm sure he's going to iterate on the process, and his goal is to have 2 emails a day going out like they used to. It's going to be free. It's going to be very similar to what HARO used to be. And within the first week or so, he had more than 10,000 people sign up. He already has over 13,000 people signed up. I mean, people are really passionate about this issue, and so I would say we'll see where that goes, but I could see it doing really well because people always liked HARO. I'm like, it was like the lowest bar of entry into PR for anybody, and not just PR professionals and agencies, but it really worked well for small businesses also, which is why we talk about it in designer discussions so much. I mean, it's the perfect way to get your feet wet and get your first good pieces of coverage. So that being said, so this is a very new development. It's actually not what we were going to talk about. We were more going to talk about the transition from HARO to Connectively and what other platforms are out there that do similar things. And in a nutshell, I would say that now we have the brand new HARO. Okay. We do have Connectively, which formerly was HARO, and there's it's everything but HARO you have to, everything but HARO, the HARO now is paid if you want to get a acceptable level of service from it. I will say that Connectively at this point, it's very affordable. So if anything, and this is what I usually say, it's like if you want to get PR, maybe, put down a goal and say, for the next 3 months, I'm actually going to dig into this and I'm going to submit to all the good queries that are out there. And that's probably all that it's going to take for you to get, I would say, 5 good pieces of coverage that you can, slap on your website, your social media, and other places. And it'll give you a really good idea of whether or not you'd like doing it or not. But yeah, definitely Connectively it is a paid platform. There are other services out there that do similar things. One that we've worked with and had good success with is called Quoted. QWOTED. And it's you can only submit 2 free queries per month. Okay. I think they benefited the quality of requests that they received was thanks to sort of the slow decline of HARO, because people were getting tired of it. And is it transitioning? Is it not? And so a lot of journalists moved over to Quoted. So we saw some really good success on that platform. But if you, and it works really well. It's well organized. It's definitely designed for PR pros. But if you have somebody who coaches you through it, it's definitely doable for entrepreneurs and business owners as well. If you want to submit more than 2 per month, though, it's going to cost you $150. And honestly, that's not something I would ever recommend for somebody with a, small to mid-size remodeling or design business. If you were all gung-ho about it, maybe, it's if you wanted to hire somebody to do it for you, you'd be paying more. But I would really think about it. So bottom line at this point is we're going to have to wait and see where the reporters go, because that's really what determines the value of the platform, right? Whichever platform is going to have the best queries, and I'm talking specifically for us, there are so many articles that are written about interior design, remodeling. I would say, I don't know, there are more than 100 requests every month that you could potentially submit to, probably a lot more if we looked at all of the platforms. But so I would say, well, I'm signed up for HARO, right? I want to see where that's going. It's really kind of fun to watch this all evolve. And I think it's going to do really well. And if that does well, then I would say just go there. It's going to be free. Okay, you're going to have to read the 3 emails, but you know what? We have a service that can help you make that easier, where we filter through the queries on your behalf. So if HARO is successful, then we'll keep doing that for you. And you can just, for a very small monthly fee, you can buy into our program, and we can do that for you. If you want to read all the emails, go for it. If you want to try Connectively, actually, if HARO hadn't shown up, I would have said, go do Connectively, because a lot of the HARO queries are still going to be there. And even if you have to pay to submit some of them, it's a few bucks. It's not 100 plus, so that would be my second choice. Quoted, unless you're really super serious about your PR push, I would say maybe check it out and maybe submit for 2 really good ones that you see, and do it as quickly as possible. You may just get lucky and get a hit there too. So that would be my recommendation at this point, but this may change in the future. We'll have to keep watching.
I'm excited to see how HARO shakes out. I liked when Quoted first started because the platform was interesting. You could tell how many submissions had gone through, and you could see if they had read it. I haven't dug into the Connectively platform. Do they have those 2 things with theirs?
It's not as sophisticated as Quoted. I would say not by a long shot, and that's just. I am not a big fan of Cision. I think all of their platforms are pretty antiquated, and it's a little bit of an upgrade, minimal upgrade, but it's not as user-friendly or sophisticated as Quoted. But it does have additional search functionality, which you didn't have previously with HARO.
Well, honestly, I followed your advice, and I did pay to have you filter out which ones would be worth responding to, just because the 3 emails after you go, if you have to go through them every day, it's a lot. And I was able to get a lot of press placements through that, and all of it is good for SEO, reputation, and things that you can put out there publicly. So I highly recommend it to anybody in the small business world for home design, just because the amount of requests is it's a lot. I mean, I'm surprised at just how many requests, and being alert to what press is putting out there also helps you understand what's going on, like
Yeah,
what's the
absolutely.
seasonal content that's hot right now? What is it that people are asking that the media is picking up on and they want to learn more about? So I do think it's a great resource for design businesses.
Okay, let's all try it and then, we'll talk again in a few months and see what happened. All right, I think that's all we have for this episode of Designer Discussions, but we look forward to having you back in 2 weeks.
Did you know that your client learns 80% of what they will know about you before they ever contact you? Now imagine when your potential client searches for the perfect kitchen remodel. Will they find you or your competition? We can help you make sure it's you. Our Designer Discussions Academy membership with your favorite podcast hosts provide weekly steps to simplify your marketing and boost your business. Sign up at designerdiscussions.com or follow the link in the show notes. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Designer Discussions and all of the helpful information. Subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. We look forward to having you back next week. For more information on the podcast and the marketing studio, visit designerdiscussions.com and follow us on social media.